So, and I'm gonna switch to English because I teach the class rather English as my yoga language, as all my education. We're going to start in a seated position. We're not gonna stand up during the whole class. We're just sitting and after that laying down. And first, we should try to find a comfortable seated position, which is not always the easiest because a cross-legged position is really not comfortable, especially if we have a little bit tighter hips. Sitting on a corner of 1 or 2 blankets or a bigger pillow that can be a solution so that you can tilt your pelvis forward and you can allow your thighs to sink deeper, the knees to sink deeper. And what happens, if I demonstrate from the corner or from the other side, if we are having the knees up high, the chance is big that our back is like this. When we manage to bring the knees down, we elongate the spine. That is what we're looking for, that nice long spine. And that's coming from the tilted pelvis, the kantelen van de bekken. So feel that you're really sitting in the front of your sitting bone. And if this is not working, you can also sit in a chair, or you can sit on more pillows in such a position. Imagine that these are pillows. You can also sit like this. My knees are not happy with this position, but some knees rather happy with this than a cross-legged. So these are sounds details, but it is very important because when we have a long spine, we have an open chest and we have more space for the breath. And then with the inhalation, we're going to bring the shoulder up, back, and release. And really release it with a sound 2 more times. Inhaling, circling up, bring it back, and then release the day, release the outer world. Feel how you sink and arrive in your seated position. And then we start with a gentle movement, just making a couple of circular movements, shifting your upper body around to start to feel the pelvis, to start to feel the sitting bone, something which is not the head, but away from the head. Circling slowly to one direction. It can be really small, it can be really big movement, whatever feels nice. And then starting to slow the breath down and find the rhythm of your movement which follows your breath. So you inhale in the front and exhale on the back of your circle. And then change the direction, inhaling again in the front and exhaling in the back. Again, this is really just intuitive. You cannot do it bad or wrong. This is just to find the sensation you're creating as you're moving around. And then make a last circle, slow motion, and arrive back into the seated pose. Tilting gently forward, hands on your knees, tilting gently forward with the inhalation, opening the front, bringing the chin up, really arching the back forward. And then as you exhale, you round yourself, bring the chin down, close the belly, open the back body. Couple of times. Slow motion again, with the rhythm of your breath. You inhale, open, and as you exhale, you open the back. Following the rhythm of the breath. That is the leader, the teacher. We try to make it nice and slow, but not scary slow, as it feels nice. And as you exhale, you round. And then with the next inhalation, we're gonna come up, sit up tall. And as we exhale, we bring the fingers around the lowest rib cage. And the lowest rib cage is to be fine that if you walk your hand down in the front of the body, you will feel bone, 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 and approximately under line, the bottom line of your bra, there it's a soft tissue, there is the diaphragm attached. And then if you move towards the side, that's the lowest ribs. Above the waist, under the bra line, and then try to ease the shoulder. If it's too much pulling, you can also have the hands like this. Having the thumb behind, it's easier to feel where the breath goes. But if you're suffering in the shoulder, then the breath will suffer as well. So then change the hand position. And then invite the breath gently, deeply, inhaling into your fingers. Mouth can be open. And as you exhale, you create a sound of the ocean, like you fog a mirror in front of you. Keeping the mouth in a gentle shape of O, and like you would clean a sunglasses, that kind of sound, just keep it soft. And as you inhale, it comes into your fingers, into the front, the side, the thumb, the back. And as you exhale, use the image of fogging a mirror to keep it soft. Couple of times again in your own rhythm, trying to send the breath deep down into this bottom part of the lungs. This is what is what causing a calming effect. And then sign it out with a gentle sound of the ocean. Invite the breath just to the right side. See how it feels. Sense it expanding to the right, exhaling from the right, just to practice awareness. Doesn't matter if it's not happening yet. Left side. Exhaling from the left side. And for the last one, try towards the thumb, towards the back part of the lungs. Keeping this upper area fairly relaxed, and then sending the breath down, back. That's the deepest part of the lungs. Exhaling, and at the end of the exhalation, we bring the palms together in front of our heart. We keep the same breath, so-called ocean breath. And then with the inhalation, we're going to open in slow motion, palms facing up, opening the arms to the side, not behind, just to the side. And exhale, slow motion, bring it back together. And we're aiming for a slow inhalation. Again, slow, but not scary slow. So maybe you go a little faster. And then exhale, even slower. Maybe you can count for yourself. 4 count as you inhale, just inwardly. And 6 count as you exhale. Making sure that your exhalation is longer, again for that calming effect. 2 more times. Keep it slow, keep it gentle, palms facing up. Exhale even slowlier. And then the very last one. And exhale slowly. Then we lower the hands down. Take the right one on the ground and turn the left palm forward. With the inhalation, we bring the left arm up, taking a deep breath in, aiming again to the down part of the lungs, sending the breath there. Then you reach, the palms are like this, facing the ceiling. And then you hold the breath and you come to the side, finding a nice stretch where you're stretching but not in a painful, crucifying position. And exhale, you come back. Again, if you feel that you need to come back earlier, that's fine. Listen to the body. We're trying to stretch the breath, but we don't want to go that deep that it gets scary, that we're holding it so long that the body starts to be worried. We just stretch and then back. And if something coming up, emotions, tears, yawning, blurbing, whatever happens, just allow it. That's the intelligence of the body. It wants to lose something, allow it. Again, stretching to the side, keeping the fingers long palm facing towards the ground. Exhale back. And then the very last one. Keep the sitting bone down, push it down, and from there you reach. Really nice long line, inflated rib cage, and then bring that to the side so that the muscles get stretched. Exhale back. And then we're going to circle with the arms for the so-called centering breath, where with the inhalation we bring the arms up, creating a diamond shape above the head. It looks like this. The camera is just not capturing. And then slow motion, we exhale, bringing the line of the arms in one line, and the fingers are just not touching each other, and the thumb is just not touching the front of the body. So that a couple of times, inhaling, lifting, easing the shoulder, diamond shape. And as you exhale, start to make a humming noise. You all muted, lips together, and then when we hum, it's again a long exhalation, and that's a release for the body. In your own tempo, inhaling slowly. Maybe Zoom is filtering out the humming. And if you hum, your lips are together but teeth apart. And at the end of the humming, rest your hand on your thigh, release the shoulder, release the elbows, release the fingers, and notice how you feel. Bringing the chin gently towards the chest, so the back of the neck stays long, and you turning gently inward. acknowledging whatever feeling is bubbling up. That's important. Running away is not helping us in the long term. And if you want, I like to set an intention in the class, so you can always set your own intention, bringing some hands around the heart. It can be one hand, two hands, it can be prayer position, whatever feels honest to you. Nothing is obligatory. And just inwardly, silently set an intention, what you would like to come to your life. When we repeat it for ourselves, the subconscious mind will notice it more and more, and it will manifest in our life. Intentions are very powerful. So make it a positive one. And then breath in and release, let it go. We undo the sitting position and start to set up the first relaxation pose, which is going to be the butterfly pose, where our back will rest on an elevation and our feet will be together, knees to the side, and we're going to support the knees so much that there is no stretching happening, just opening. There is no sensation in the inner thigh. Every pose what we do, there is not really a stretching. It's not like in a yin yoga class. We are really going for the comfort. The back can be resting on a bolster, which is elevated with 2 blocks, if you have the blocks, some of you. But if you have a blanket, then we create this elevation. This is a quarter of a blanket. It's folded 2 times. So that's how I get this bit rectangle shape. And then how we fold it is double flipping, so that you're going to get a nice long line and 3 layers on top of each other. And we make 2 of these. It's not that neatly folded. I will refold it. In this class, we fold like in a very precise way, because every wrinkle can annoy us later in the pose. So it's really important that it's all smooth. So you get these 3 layers. That's gonna be on 1. And then you create a second one. Also double flipping. And you're going to put it on the top of it. And maybe you notice that there is an end which is more closed, and there is an end which is more loose ends. That one will come towards the lower back. And then you can place the 2 on top of each other and shift the second one further away. So here you get a soft start where the lower back will be. We want the head to be the highest spot. So we can turn the blanket under to elevate the head even more. Or if you have many pillows, you can take one for the head. We're gonna sit on the ground, on the mat, and the lower back will touch this whole setup, putting the sole of the feet together. And then this is very important. We need some big pillows to support the knees. Or if you have a bolster, you can also put a bolster across your mat and rest your leg on top of it. You want the sole of the feet to be together, and then you support so much the leg that, as I said, there is no stretching happening here. So it really just an ease in the whole body, adjusting the head support as well. So we're trying to create a descending line, forehead, nose, chest, belly, and then a very comfortable position for the leg. When you bring your heels further away, that's also easing the legs. So the heels doesn't need to be close to you. Finding the ease. The arms will be at the side, or you can also choose to have the elbows on the ground and rest the hands on the lower belly. One blanket, the last blanket, will cover you fully. That's very important so that you feel safe and protected and also warm. I'm just not showing that you can see how the body is positioned in the pose. And then also covering the eyes is also important. When you have set up all the pose completely, you can cover the eyes with a shawl or an eye cover or a t-shirt even, or just a piece of fabric, whatever, because this darkness is also contributing to the relaxation. So this is the pose what we try to set up. Variation possibility for the arms. Arms can be at the side, or this is easier for the shoulders. When the arms are to the side, then your shoulders are dropping more. But if you feel too vulnerable and too open, sometimes placing the palms on the lower belly serves us more. So this is really now the moment when you're setting up the pose to feel what's happening, how do you feel comfortable, where do you have things going around which doesn't feel comfortable, and then you just modify. Trying to create also symmetry. So the two knees are on the same plate, the arms are positioned in the same way. Again, also because symmetry is very calming for the nervous system. Everything what we do, from the very first breathing exercise till the end of the class, are really designed to down-regulate our nervous system, to put the body into ease and comfort, and then the body will send a sign to the nervous system. There's nothing to watch out anymore. We are fine, we are safe, we are warm. There's nothing to watch, nothing to look at. We can rest. Literally, this is happening. The body sends the sign to the nervous system that everything is okay, and the nervous system will start to switch off. Sometimes the mind does not follow right away. That's still okay. It will slowly change. So make sure that you're warm, you're comfortable, you're in dark in the way of covering the eyes, or sometimes when we experience too much anxiety, the covering the eyes can be too intense. Just create then darkness in the room. That's also good. And then see that the back of the neck can be long and that you can bring the chin towards the chest. So you're laying in this position of comfort, bringing the chin towards the chest. That will again allow the energy to drop, the energy of the head to drop down towards the belly. And even sense what's happening in the belly area. See if you can soften it. You can allow it to be soft and to move together with the breath allowing the breath to lengthen, be a bit longer, a bit fuller, and exhaling the same way out, and then allow 2 normal breaths. See if you can soften the lips, soften the throat. If you can even allow the tongue to rest in the lower palate, in your mouth. So there is spaciousness when the breath enters through your nose or through your mouth. There is this spaciousness welcoming the breath. And that spaciousness continues in your soft throat, the open chest, as the shoulders are dropping down away from your ears. And in the rib cage, as the belly softens, allowing space for the diaphragm to move. Soft, beautiful, long inhalation, matching up with the exact same soft, gentle exhalation. And then normal breath in and normal breath out. 2 times. And in your own rhythm, you can make a couple of rounds from the longer, fuller, equal breath, equal in the inhalation and in the exhalation. And then with 2 times normal breath, rest even the breathing part. Keeping softness and gentleness as the main quality in the practice. And every exhalation, your body sinks deeper into the pause. Every inhalation, you gently open the front body, the chest. And as you exhale, you sink again deeper. Very subtle. Letting go of all the muscle tension of the body through the nourishing breath. Make a last round of the little longer, little fuller inhalation, matching with the same soft, full exhalation. And then let it completely go. Allow yourself to be in the pose as you are, and allow the pose to do the job for you. I'm gonna give a couple of minutes silence and then ring the bell when we are changing position. Just be. The pose does the job for you. You don't need to do anything anymore. It all happens itself. Slowly, slowly invite your breath a little deeper, a little fuller. And as you exhale, feel your body in the shape. Feel the legs, the arms. Feel your lower back. And when you feel ready to move, bring your hands towards your knees and help with your hands to bring the knees together. So don't use the inner thigh muscles, being careful with the the groins. We help with the hands to bring the knees together and then roll to one of the side. You can come to lay on a pillow on your side, or you can come to lay on the arm, on the ground. Just really resting for 3-4 breaths, slowly transitioning out of the pause. Observing how you feel again. And then lengthen your upper leg. Use the upper arm to place it in front of the heart. Push down, keeping the head down, chin to chest. And then slowly come up into sitting. Almost like the head would be the last one, what you are lifting up. Yeah. This was pose number 1, to slow down. Pose number 2 is going to be a supported back bend with the help of either a pillow or a folded blanket like a pillow. It is a simple pose in the sense that we don't use that many props, but it has a very profound effect because the head will be lower than the heart, and that's very quieting. So if you use a blanket, fold it to the size of a pillow, and again, the end with the loose parts will come towards the lower back, towards the buttocks. Or you can also check, some pillow is also great in this pose. I will show you how we're going to put the body, and then you can experiment for yourself what feels nice. So the buttocks will be on the ground, and we're going to curl the upper body over the blanket. The knees will stay bent, feet as it feels comfortable, toes maybe even gently towards each other, and then you allow the knees to rest together like a pyramid folding towards each other. Arms will be at the side, head lower than the heart is elevated, head will be lower. You could slide the hands under your neck. The neck is arching with the rest of the spine. So the spine has this beautiful arch from the lower back till the head, the top of the neck. You have this C shape. And when you open your arms to the side, the armpit is above the blanket. This is important, that the upper line of the blanket is really under your heart, under the bottom tip of your shoulder blade, approximately here, approximately the heart level again. If you come too far down, you're just tilting the head back. Then it's nothing happening in the chest. You want the chest to expand. If you're coming too much up high on the blanket, then you just elevate the belly and your whole shoulder is going to be flat on the ground. Again, there is no expansion in the front body. So you have to be a little bit of trying out Also, depending on the shape of your blanket or the pillow, it can feel completely different. Some blankets are very thin, then you can put two blankets on top of each other, or rather use a pillow and then find that spot where it feels nice. And it's almost like you would wibble, probably, that your buttocks is on the ground or just not on the ground. And also the shoulder is on the ground or just not on the ground, like a whip wop kind of position. The knees together as it feels comfortable, and then you cover yourself again with a blanket and you cover your eyes with a shawl. And if you're practicing this pose more often and you have another blanket, what you can put easily on the knees, feel free to do so. Or even a bolster can be on the knee, not something what you have to balance. So we want some weight that feels nice. It feels like grounding you. But if the thing you put on the knee needs to be balanced, then it will ask your attention, and you don't want that. We want, there is no attention asked anywhere, just resting, nothing happening. Arms can be at the side, same level again, symmetry again, left and right side feels nice, is the same. And sometimes you can also turn the hand so that the little finger side is on the ground, and then you reach further away, and then you turn back the arm so that the palms are facing the ceiling. This way you create space not only in the front of the chest, but also in the back of the heart. If it feels too much back bending, when you have anxiety and you back bend, that can sometimes feel intense, then make the blanket thinner under you, or choose a smaller pillow so that the difference between the heart and the head is how they're laying down is not that big. That is most of the times one single blanket is a good thickness, support the back. And give yourself a couple of breaths to settle, allow the body to settle in this pose, because it's more unusual, the head lower than the heart. That's not how we are during the day. So the body needs some time to let go into this pose. But again, it should feel comfortable. And often when you find the right line for the blanket under your heart, you get a sensation of, oh, I don't want to come back up. That's really the line or an indication that, yes, it's the right spot. Stay there. Keeping yourself warm, covering the eyes. Allowing soft, nourishing breath to open the whole front body. Gently stretching with the inhalation, the belly, the chest, the throat. And releasing, letting go with the exhalation. Again, the pause does the job for you. You just need to stay, that's all. In comfort. If it doesn't feel comfortable, modify. When you feel comfortable, quieting of the mind will happen automatically. I'm also going to be quiet and again ring the bells when we are changing position. slowly, slowly invite your breath again, deeper and fuller. And as you exhale, feel how you're positioned in the shape. And then gently, gently find a way to roll to one of your sides. Careful if you had something on your knee which is heavier, then be careful as you're dropping it down. And then gently roll to one side, laying on the upper arm or on a pillow, and finding a spot for your spine that you're not on the pillow or the blanket which was under you, so that your spine can be neutral for a few breaths again. And then lengthen your upper leg. And again, use the upper arm to push down to slow motion. Come back up to a seated position. Yes. And then we're going to move towards the very last pose, for which we're going to use a chair or a couch. Or if you have two blocks and on top of it a bolster, that's also a possibility. If you don't have any of these, you can build up something with 4 pillows maybe on top of each other. I will show it with a chair and then you can see what I'm talking about. A normal dining room chair is perfect. We're gonna elevate the legs and the legs will be on the chair. We're going to place either a blanket or a pillow under the head. We're gonna put a kind of skirt. We're gonna create a skirt from a blanket, or a thicker shawl can work as well around the belly area. It's nice. It's padding the lower back, the sacrum on the ground. It keeps us warm. So you just wrap something around your belly, and then also turn it so it's not in the soft part, not in the center. And then what we're going to do is having the buttocks on the ground, the leg on the chair. Now, before you go down, you already cover yourself, the legs, but I'm not showing that so that you can see how the position looks like. You come into your lower arms and you try to drag your upper ribs away from the buttocks so that you create a nice long spine, and then you come down, lay down, supporting the head with a pillow or with a blanket. And you can also support the hands with 2 similar pillows at both sides, resting the palms, back of the palms on the pillow. I don't have space in this side to show, but it's exactly the same what you try to create. Or if you don't have 2 similar pillows, it can be just on the ground as well. Being on a pillow or elevated adds to relaxation. When we put ourselves into flexion, it evokes in the Asian brain the being in the womb kind of feeling. So if you have something to pillow or something, or even it can be also a blanket which is under your palm. And then your whole body will be covered and your eyes will be covered. Make sure that your feet is also captured with the blanket so it's not out in the cold. And if your chair is a hard surface chair, then you can also put a blanket on it. If the chair is very high, then maybe you ending up with a leg like this. That's not ideal. in that case, maybe you can have a long fold blanket under the back and the head so that you're lifting your whole body a couple of centimeters higher. Or if you use the couch, that's often lower than a chair, that can work as well. Ideally, your leg is parallel with the ground, your knees are in ease, so you support your leg till your knees. If the chair is shorter, it's possible also that your feet is a little bit in the air. That's not really a problem as long as you support yourself till your knees. If you're too far away and your knees are in the air, then you cannot rest your legs that much. So that's why it's nicer if you can have your legs till your knees on the chair. Covering yourself for the warmth, feeling the soothing effect of the blanket. Head is really comfortable. Again, you can move the chin gently towards the chest so that you have this internalizing energy, internalizing awareness. Nothing is interesting but outside of us. We move inward, arms out at the side, eyes covered with the shawl again. And really trust yourself that what you feel and sense, that's the case. Look for comfort, modify for comfort. Everything is allowed. What makes you feel more comfortable in the pose. Without comfort, there is no relaxation. And our only aim to do is really just set up that comfort. The rest happens itself. So again, trust yourself and modify as your wish for today. And then when all is done and it feels nice, you can take a deeper inhalation and through your mouth sigh the breath out, letting go into the pause, letting go the control, letting go the doing, letting go all expectations, all planning and judging, and just surrendering to gravity. And being, allowing yourself to be fully you as you are at this moment. Nothing to change, nothing to improve, nothing to gain. Just be you in your radiant, unique, beautiful yourself. A great value to the universe. just as you are. Again, after minutes of silence, I will ring the bell and guide you out of the pause. Slowly, slowly invite the breath again deeper. And as you exhale, find your body in the shape. Allow the kneecaps to face the ceiling, and then one by one, bend the legs, stepping on the side of the chair, taking a few breaths there before you again choose to roll to a side. Keeping the slowliness in the movement, keeping the transitioning very light and delicious. And stay in this pose. You can roll up yourself smaller. You can cover yourself with a blanket. First, just observe again, how do you feel? And then I would like to read up an inspirational thought coming from Rumi. He writes, "Our task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within ourselves that we have built against it." So our task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within ourselves that we have built against it. And that's including the love towards ourselves as well. Again, lengthen your upper leg, place your upper arm in front of you, and slowly come back up into a seated position. And then we finish with a seated position. You can choose again any kind of gesture which feels honest. And then we bow towards the wisdom, the guidance of our heart. Namaste. Thank you for practicing together. I'm gonna stop the recording.